Welcome to VHS Sisters, a nostalgic movie podcast with two actual real-life sisters.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Saysha.
Get into some comfy clothes, grab your favorite beverage,
and come hang out with us as I force my little sister to watch all the movies she missed growing up.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about anything sad or depressing. But here we are yet again, another week on VHS Sisters.
Yes.
And we're talking about another traumatic movie. So sorry, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to VHS Sisters. We're still in the lovely month of March with my sister. I was going to say my good sister. With my good sister, with Goody Melanie. I saw Goody Melanie with the devil.
Yeah, you did. What was it, last week or the week before with Darkness?
That's right. Yes.
You did see me with him.
I did see you with the devil. It's so true. I'm here. We're here today. We're here. We're trying to get to spring. It's spring, technically, but we're trying to get through the month of March by revisiting some classics that I've seen, of course, but also Melanie's seen. And the movie that we're going to talk about today is the 1982 childhood classic, The Secret of NIMH by Don Bluth, famous Mormon.
Famous Mormon.
Yeah, he's super Mormon. That's a whole other. I have too many facts about this. And also another fun fact. I have already been on a podcast talking about this movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Did you ever listen to that or did you just?
I don't think I did. No, I did. I think I listened to at least the length at which you talked about. I don't know. Was somebody horny for the mouse? I forget.
That would have been me.
Oh, God.
And he wasn't. I'm sorry. Let's start here. I wasn't horny for the mouse. He's a rat and his name is Justin. Okay.
I mean, many women have dated rats named Justin in their lives, so it tracks.
Speak more on that. Yeah. How many shitty Justins have you dated? Probably at least one.
I don't know. I would like to keep that number at 0.
Yeah, no, I've never dated historically a Justin, but yeah, Justin the Rat. We'll get into it. We're gonna have.
But you would have if Justin the Rat was around.
If Justin the Rat was around, we're gonna talk about in this episode, listeners. We're gonna talk about some uncomfortable truths about me. It's probably stuff that my little sister doesn't want to hear. I feel like you do hear a lot of stuff like that, but let's just get into it today.
It's fine.
It's fine. We have a comfortable relationship. We say jizz in front of each other now.
I mean, I think jizz is better than any other word describing male ejaculate. Or female ejaculate, really, or any ejaculate.
Right. I don't think ejaculate has a gender. We're starting off real strong today.
Yeah, guys. Sorry. I mean, whatever. I worked a whole day on the internet doing my silly little tasks. And now I'm here discussing the classic movie that I referred to as the mouse movie.
Yeah. So here, let's get into Melanie's memories because this is what it's all about. I just want to say right off the bat, this movie missed Melanie when she was a little child. And I had to show it to her as an adult, a young adult. I don't know. Why don't you tell the rest of the story? I forced you to watch it when you were visiting one day.
Yeah, I was visiting and I believe I had taken an edible or something. And at one point you were like planning to watch this. And then later in the evening, you're like, okay, well, let's put on the thing. And I'm like, oh, yeah, do you want to watch that mouse movie or something? You're like, that mouse movie. My childhood classic is just referred to as that mouse movie.
Listeners,
yeah, I was gonna say that's it. That's my memories of it. Like being not like forced to watch it, but kind of while high on a marijuana edible back in like, I want to say 2018.
Yeah, it was probably around the same time I made you watch Legend.
Yeah.
And it was a similar reaction. Yeah, you used to smoke a lot of weed.
I did. Yeah, guys. I mean, I don't really anymore, but it's like, it's just so funny to me that like my memories of these movies all have to do, like, at least the ones that you've shown me when I turned into an adult, most of which I was on some sort of marijuana while experiencing the film.
Yeah, and unlike Legend, I feel like that could be a good combination. This movie is dark, but not like in a fun way. I mean, there are fun moments in Secret of NIMH, but it is historically known as like a childhood trauma classic.
Yeah, few and far between moments of joy in this one.
No, right from the get, like it is. As we were rewatching it, I was saying to Ryan, I was like, this mouse, Mrs. Brisby, right from the get, is in peril the whole time. And it is upsetting. Yeah, I watched this movie for the first time very young. So it came out in 1982. I probably watched it on VHS. This was definitely a VHS classic. I watched this probably when I was 5 or 6, probably 5. Like it's a super early memory. And I think I remember the music from it the most. I remember the famous song, which is written by Jerry Goldsmith and it's performed by Paul Williams. Do you know who Paul Williams is?
A classic.
A classic. Paul Williams, who wrote Emmett Otter, who was in Phantom of the Paradise. I was like, wow, Paul Williams was working. The 70s and 80s, he was out here doing his thing. But yeah, I remembered like loving the song, wanting to hear it all the time. I was like absolutely enthralled by this movie, but also terrified. I was so scared of Dragon the cat. I was so scared of the owl, the big owl. I was like, why does she have to go see this owl? I just loved it. I would reenact scenes from it. Like that's how deep it is. All like the children's voices. Because there's nothing, even to this day, there's nothing I love more than animated children being voiced by actual children.
It's so cute. It's so cute.
So cute. And I'm like me who wants nothing to do with any children. I'm just like, oh, I just want to protect these little mouse children. They really get you.
The only child I want is a mouse.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. A mouse who's wearing a ribbon for a shirt. Because that's all they have. They don't know about people clothes, but they must wear something so they appear human, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's important. We'll talk about the clothes. This movie. There's there's some costuming choices that I find interesting. So yeah, this is, I mean, when I think VHS classics, this is like the one that really stands out for me. And I couldn't believe that you'd never seen it. Like because you had seen other Don Bluth movies like Land Before Time.
Mm-hmm. My favorite.
Anastasia, probably.
Another favorite.
Right. Yeah. So these are all like classics. All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Love.
Sure. Yeah. But you just missed Secret of NIMH. And this was the first movie that Don Bluth ever made out of the Disney studio system.
Mm-hmm.
So before we talk about the actual movie, I mean, I do think we need to talk about Don Bluth because he is a legend. Like I said, he is a Mormon legend. Do you know anything about his story and like why this movie was made?
No.
Okay. So I'll go through it really quick. So, like there was this golden era of Disney, and we're talking about all the great movies that we grew up loving, like Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians. And then there was like this period after Walt Disney died, specifically like late 60s into 70s, where everything kind of like, they didn't really know where to go as a studio. They made movies like Jungle Book. They made movies like Robin Hood, which is one of my favorites. And they like used to cut corners a lot. They would like reuse a lot of animation.
Mm-hmm.
So like you see the big Disney movies of that time, they have sort of like a scratchy, almost like a cheap quality to them. Yeah, I mean, I still love them. I don't know how, like, what your feelings are about like Disney movies of that time.
Oh, I mean, one of my favorites, and I'm not sure if he worked on it or not, but he might have, the Aristocats. I'm sorry.
Don Bluth didn't work on Aristocats. He definitely was there during that time. He worked on The Rescuers. Do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
a lot of the animals, like you're saying, the drawings look so similar in between all the different movies.
Yeah, and you see like there's certain scenes, like especially like dancing scenes, like in Robin Hood and then Jungle Book, they have similar kind of body movements. Anyway, Don Bluth worked at Disney at this time, and he was like, I don't want to cut corners. I'm a perfectionist. I want to go back to like the old school way, because he became an animator because he saw Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs back in 1937 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And he saw this movie and he was like, this is what I want to do with my life. All this stuff was happening in the 70s. Disney was kind of in shambles. Don Bluth didn't like how they were doing things. He didn't like how they were getting paid basically peanuts. So he quit, and he took like 14 animators with him. Like he basically walked out.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, screw you guys. I'm forming my own company. And he did. And they did like a little short movie before this called Banjo the Woodpile Cat, which is, you can see it on YouTube, everybody. And then this movie, The Secret of NIMH, which was based on a book that Disney had the rights to from the early 70s, a children's novel called Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of NIMH, which I've read and is way darker and very different. So Don Bluth took it took a while for this movie to be made. He famously loves mice. He loves drawing mice. I mean, he did also American Tail. You've seen that probably.
Yes.
And maybe Fievel Goes West.
Yes.
That's crazy. So you are super familiar with Don Bluth's work.
Mm-hmm.
But you just have no connection to his his magnum opus, in my opinion.
Maybe that's because it came out 10 years before I was born.
Maybe, but like, that you've seen Star Wars that came out in like, I don't know, 77.
And you know what, to be fair, I've only ever like sat and watched Star Wars, I think starting in 2020 and beyond. Like it's always been on in the house,
Melanie, I can't hear that right now.
It's always been in the house. That's enough.
This is like a separate podcast. This is a separate podcast where we branch off of VHS Sisters, and now we're like, I don't know, maybe that's one for a Patreon someday. Like, let's sit down and make Melanie watch the entire, well, it would be just like the first 3 Star Wars movies.
I was going to say in chronological order or what, or, but yeah, just the first 3.
Just the first 3. Yeah. You have to watch Star Wars. You have to watch Empire and Return of the Jedi. But yeah, anyway, this is like, it's just like a whole other thing. Whenever I learn more about like the things you've watched and not watched, I'm like, well, it's just my fault, I guess, for not being around.
I think that's maybe my dad's fault, because he would always have it on, like whenever Star Wars is on, it's just on.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of passive watching. It's like a classic neurodivergent household, listeners, where like stuff, like the TV is never not on, which is a problem for me. I'm like the opposite. I'm like, can we just have quiet, please? We don't need the news on all the time.
No news, just like various movies, of which I think there's about like 20. Just different movies on repeat.
There's a certain like repertoire in our household, things that get replayed, and Star Wars definitely make the cut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the other ones that make the cut are like Kill Bill, which I love Kill Bill, so that's fine. Fifth Element, which was on today.
I mean, I remember a lot of Westerns being played in the house.
Usually a Western at least once a day.
At least once a day, there's going to be a cowboy and a horse on that TV.
Mm-hmm.
You bet your bottom dollar. I don't have a strong memory of Secret of NIMH being played at our house, but I definitely watched it at Aunt Jackie's, and I definitely watched it at our grandma Carol's house.
Okay.
A lot. And I don't know why she had it, but yeah, that was like,
she's probably like, I have grandkids. Let me just buy some movies, like entertain them.
Yeah,
smoke my cigarette.
Yeah, sure. Like, yeah, she had like a nice stack of clamshells, just like ready for the kids to come over.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back to Don Bluth. Yeah, this was the movie he decided to make to be his big statement, to be like, fuck you, Disney. Because they were cutting corners, right? They would do this thing where they would animate a second, and then there would be like, there were only like a couple cells per second. So the animation at Disney started to look a little bit more choppy, whereas he did a ton of cells. So when you see the animals moving, there's like a flow to it. And I think, you know, whatever your feelings are about this movie, and we will definitely talk about it, I think you can at least admit it was like well animated.
Yeah. I personally loved all of the, like, especially in the beginning when I'm assuming it's the owl or whoever it is. They're writing this manuscript and it's all
I'm sorry, you thought the owl was writing the book in the first 5 minutes of the movie?
Somebody with a creepy hand with bumps on it, which the owl does have, you know?
Melanie, that was Nicodemus.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, okay, this is going to be an interesting one because I can already tell Melanie was half watching the whole time. She was checked out of a movie that we were going to talk about on a public podcast.
This one is this should have been Saysha's month.
Well, I don't know. I guess so. I thought this would fit well into March because you have seen it before.
Yeah.
Against your will. So, but yeah, in the beginning, well, let's talk about what this movie is about first, and just, you know, the summary really quick for anybody who hasn't seen it. And if you haven't, please pause this, go watch the movie, come back. It is about the plight of a recently widowed field mouse who goes by the name of Mrs. Brisby. She has no first name, by the way. They never say it. She's referred to as Mrs. Brisby or Mrs. Jonathan Brisby. She connects with a underground group of super intelligent rats who are living in the rose bush near her because she needs to enlist their help to move her house that her sick child is in before the farmer's plow comes to get them in spring. So that's basically the whole point of the movie. And yeah, like I said in the beginning, right from the get, Mrs. Brisby is in peril. The first thing, like you talked about the opening of the movie, that hand, that creepy hand, as you said, is Nicodemus's hand. And he's writing in this illuminated script and fondling this magical amulet that comes up a lot later. All this stuff, by the way, all the supernatural elements of this movie are all added by Don Bluth. These are not in the book. The book is just a straightforward tale of like animals who talk, who work out their problems. There's a lot of stuff about like science and animal testing, and it's a very like adult children's book that talks about like, you know, the ethics around the testing of animals, which I was very invested in from a young age. But yeah, all this like magical stuff, like Nicodemus, the old rat, as a wizard basically, and doing magic stuff with his hands. That is 100% all of Don Bluth's imagination. So you're saying you enjoyed that in the beginning.
I did. Well, like you're talking about the quality of the animation. So it's like when he's writing, the way that the glitter flows around the pen and hits the paper, it's just really like beautiful. Sure. And very, like, I really thought like it was more of a fantasy style movie based on like the first 10 minutes of the movie, minus of course, like Mrs. Brigsby with her child with pneumonia.
Did you call her Mrs. Brigsby?
Mrs. Brisby.
It is a tough thing to say. Her name in the book is Mrs. Frisbee with an F.
Which I think because of copyright, they couldn't have used.
Yeah, they didn't use it. Yeah, they were just like, well, that Frisbee creator, that toy creator is going to be mad at us. So
they should have a Frisbee with like the NIMH logo on it.
Right. And you know what NIMH is, correct?
Well, it's National Institute of Mental Health.
Hell yeah. It's what we all need.
Yeah. Well, not really. If they're testing on animals, we don't need that.
Yeah, no, we don't need that in this world. That's bad.
It's a very PETA movie.
Super PETA movie. Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, we'll get to all the animal trauma, but it's, yeah, the first 10 minutes of the movie, like you said, there, it is beautiful. And that's the main thing that I love about this movie is how it looks. All of the light, the spark, all the sparklies, the sparkly and the sparklies, and just like the layers to it. I think it's very beautiful to look at because it's like at once sparkly, but also kind of dark.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And like you said, in the first 10 minutes of the movie, you're like, is this a fantasy movie? Because we have this old wizard rat who's writing some illuminated script. He's talking about his dead friend, Jonathan. And it's very kind of it opens like an adult movie. I don't know of a child's movie that opens like this. Then the title card comes in and it's like all the light. It's like the light coming through the dark. And I'm like, I think it's just so effective to kind of get you in. And then all of a sudden we're in a land of animals on the farm.
Mm-hmm.
we can go through the movie chronologically like we usually do. Before we get into it, like, were there any bright points for you other than like just like you said, the general sparkly design of it?
There were a few. I mean, like I said, you were talking too about the children and how cute they were.
Right.
I thought that like when one of the little ones stands up to Auntie Shrew, who's babysitting them, I thought that was really funny and cute, like a childhood act of defiance. You can tell that Mrs. Brisby was really dedicated to her dead husband. I mean, granted, mice don't live that long. So she's like, what, like 6 months old? She already got like 5 kids, 4 kids, one's dying.
4 kids, yeah. Timothée Chalamet is in bed. He's not doing well. Yeah, as a kid, I was always like, that's the conflict right from the beginning, right? Timothy's sick. We know this. And I was just like, so Mrs. Brisby goes to see Mr. Ages, who I love as a character. Is like one of my favorite kinds of characters. And he's very grumpy, this grumpy old field mouse who like lives in this old like wheat thresher or whatever. And Mr. Ages is so like short with her. He's just like, yeah, get out of here. You know, I have experiments to do. And she's following him around and, you know, you get to see like all these cool sparkly things. I love like when in movies, when animals or people are really small and then like normal things are really big to them. So you can see in Mr. Age's house, it's like, oh, here's like a package or here's like an old food container and it's like a part of his house.
Yeah, it's like an eyeglass lens or something. And it's like, this is his, whatever he can use to refract light or something like that. I'm just making that up.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's that. Yeah, exactly. Like to a mouse, a pair of glasses would be like an incredible like prism,
like a windshield thing. Yeah,
exactly. You know, so I think it's really cool. She asks him for medicine to heal her sick son. What did you feel about Mr. Ages, the grumpy old mouse? Were you into him, or did you think?
I mean, he's me.
Wait, okay, you're relating to Mr. Ages.
I like, he is who I am internally. Externally, I'm very extroverted, but I like love that he's not really like, he's here to help, but he's like, okay, here's the thing now. Bye. Like you're wasting my time essentially. And I respect people who really like value their time like that. So it's like, you know what, Mr. Ages, you better work.
Yeah, Mr. Ages, like, I don't know what he has to do. I mean, like later on in the movie, we find out he has a lot to do with the rats in the rose bush. So
he's lived a hard life, you know?
I mean, that's the thing. When you get old, you don't have that much time left. So you're just like, get out of here. I got other stuff to do. So he gives her like this envelope of like, I always thought it was like grass. It's just like, it looks like it's just like cuttings. I think the dialogue is so good too. Like, again, you would think it was like an adult movie. They're talking about serious stuff. Like a child is dying. She's a widow. she doesn't have a first name. And
she belongs to her husband.
Exactly. Like, even though he's dead, like, that's just how she's identified now. Mr. Ages like shoos her away. And then we go from like one of my favorite characters to my least favorite character, not only in this movie, but like of all time. That's how much I hate this character. Do you know who I'm talking about?
It's either Jenner.
No, Jenner's way
or
later.
Is it Dragon the cat?
No, Dragon's
the crow.
Yes. Yeah. Fucking Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy the crow, which like I don't know why he was even in this movie. Was he in the book?
He was in the book. He didn't have such a big role, but you could tell that Don Bluth was like, we really got to punch up the comedy. I think I've talked about this in other pods. Like, there's nothing I fucking hate more than a joke character. Like, it's character who's like, it's fucking Gurgi, and I hate him so much. Fucking Jeremy can get caught by dragon and be it for all I care.
He's so useless. And I did actually think it was kind of funny how, I mean, he definitely took like the seriousness out of this movie, because like Mrs. Brisby, she's like, oh, I just need to like get my son his meds. And she's like struggling to even just get the meds to home, you know, to bring them home. And Jeremy's like, oh yeah, sick kid, whatever. You got any dating tips for me? like it's just so stupid.
It's stupid. I think you hit on a really fine point, which is, I guess you kind of need Jeremy, just like you need Gurgi in the movie, because otherwise the movie would be unrelenting and dark. Oh, fun fact, you just made me think of it. The Dark Crystal came out the same, like, well, not the same time, but Disney put the Black Cauldron out sort of as a response to this, I think, because it was supposed to come out the same year. I think Black Cauldron came out 85, but they were also trying to do a dark fantasy thing. And of course, we know that it famously flopped because it was just too scary. So I think like, this is my own personal headcanon. This is my Don Bluth fan fiction. I think that he was like, like my movie did better than you. My dark fantasy movie did better than your dark fantasy movie.
I love that.
And also, well, I think when this movie came out too, Disney had just put out Fox and the Hound, which like did okay.
Did they? I thought that was older for some reason.
No, I think Fox and the Hound was 82. We could hold on. Hey Siri,
consult the internet.
What year did Disney's Fox and the Hound come out in the movie theater?
Okay, I found this on the web. For what year did Disney's Fox and the Hound come out? Check it out.
I will check it out, internet. Fox and the Hound came out in 1981, bitch.
Damn. Okay. It's funny. My Fox and the Hound memory, very traumatic movie, but I watched it at Grandma Stella's for like the one time that she babysat me, and she was like full on crying during the movie.
You can't have a fox and a hound be friends and everything's going to be okay.
No,
you just can't. There's so much. Can we just say there was so much animal trauma in like all the movies we loved? Animals being threatened, even in Aristocats. Okay. Like there was a plot to like send them away.
Yeah. Edgar, he wanted to stop having to deal with these. Well, he wanted the inheritance of the Grand Dame or whatever.
Yeah.
So like he was like, she's basically leaving all her money to the cats, which I'm like, fierce diva. That's me.
That's me.
Of course. And so he plots to like send them away and is like, oh, they're missing, hoping that, like, kind of dark now that you think about it, hoping that she dies like soon and gets the money, which she lives on in my head, you know, for years to come.
Yeah, no, that like honestly, they were trying to like, you're trying to convince me this woman doesn't have a good life, that being like a child-free cat woman is terrible. Like she lives in a fucking mansion
in Paris somewhere.
In Paris, and her life rocks. I was like, yeah, Aristocats. Well, that's another one for the Patreon. we'll have to do. Yeah. So like I said, Jeremy is Gurgi. He sucks so bad. I hate, like, Dom DeLuise just had like this moment. It's not even a moment. Like, he had a fucking career that was like, he was like in every single Don Bluth movie. Don Bluth like loved him. And they're just like, we need a wacky character. He's here.
I need a crazy guy.
I need a crazy guy who is here to just like cause chaos and confusion. And maybe that's the thing too. That's my personality type. I hate like chaotic characters, characters who are incompetent, characters who mess stuff up, characters who slow down progress, characters who are ignorant. And
well,
then like that's Jeremy.
You're describing our government, but that's a whole separate pod.
I mean, it's the most frustrating thing. Yeah. It's no one knows how to do. I just want people who know how to do their job. I do my job, all of my jobs. I have many jobs. I do all of them wonderfully because I'm professional. And that's the most important thing to be.
It is.
Yeah, all Jeremy gives a shit about is like sparklies and string and getting laid. He's a horny crow. We
know many Jeremys.
Yeah, Jeremy. We know Justin's and we know Jeremy's. Let's talk about all the J names in this movie.
Which one are you?
Are you a Jeremy or are you a Justin or are you a Jenner? You thought I hated Jenner? That's crazy. You know me too.
Like, I think you were leaning into like, okay, like here's the villain that comes next. No, the villain is just the comic relief for you.
Yeah, that's it. That is. Yeah. One of the villains is Dragon, who we see pretty quick. So like as soon as Mrs. Brisby gets the medicine, she's chased. Her and Jeremy are chased by Dragon the cat. And this was a part I remember as a kid that like annoyed the shit out of me. During that whole dragon chase where like they're in the water and all this stuff, like the envelope of medicine straight up falls in the water and you see it fall in the water. And I'm like, it's just like a piece of paper with some herbs in it. And then after all the peril is over, you know, Jeremy and Mrs. Brisby are like, they're taking a moment after that chase scene. And then Jeremy just pulls it out from under his wing. He's like, oh, here you go. I found this. I'm like, the medicine would be ruined. It would be like, it wouldn't, like, that's when I knew I was a special child because I just like focused on details like that. I'm like, no, that can't happen. Like, it's not real.
I low-key thought it was in like almost like a small plastic bag, like a dime bag or something. But
it looked like an envelope with like a flap. So I was like, it's just gonna, all the medicine in there is just gonna go into the water.
I mean, if it was plastic, it had a chance. If it was a plastic envelope.
I guess so. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that envelope. We're gonna have to do an envelope check. I have to watch it yet again for the 1,000th.
For Sonic viewing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then like after that, we Mrs. Brisby gets to take the meds back to Timothy, who's I'm just gonna call him Timothée Chalamet. Timothée Chalamet. He's sick in bed. He can't be moved. Yeah, that's another plot point that Mr. Ages says that is important because if that's not the case, then there is no movie, right? Like Timothy is in bed. He's so sick. He cannot be moved. You know, I was like, what kind of sickness is that? Like that he can't leave his bed. So he
had pneumonia.
I guess, but like you can move people with pneumonia. Like what if there was a fire in the house? You'd have to.
I mean, yeah, but like if he was to just live his normal life, you want to get your rest, you know?
I guess so. Yeah. It just seemed like I was like, they have to move the house because moving day is coming and he can't be moved for 3 weeks. So this is just me as like a child with autism, like trying to like figure this out. I was just like, can we like carry the bed out and like cover him or something? Like, wouldn't it be easier to just like move the bed, you know, like really sick people, like a gurney?
Yeah. Or like one thing at a time, you know?
Right. I was like, can we get some resources for this poor widow? Like, what kind of society do we live in? Can't those rabbits help? Like, what's going on? Yeah, the whole thing about Timothy's sickness. I'm like, okay, I feel like there are plot holes, but we just got to roll with it. And we get to meet the kids, and they're all super cute. Two of them who are voiced by, well, the oldest sister is voiced by Shannon Doherty when she was but a child. I think it was her first acting role too.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, R.I.P. Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Then the oldest son is voiced by Will Wheaton. Do you know who that is?
No, not off the top of my head.
He played a character on Star Trek Next Generation. He was like the young guy. It's fine. Like that's another thing that was like on in our house that Melanie probably never paid attention to.
I watched a lot of Star Trek.
But specifically Star Trek Next Generation, like with LeVar Burton and Patrick Stewart and all that, like the one from the 90s.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
I'm more familiar with the Shat.
God, yeah, sure. Yeah, the OG series for sure. Yeah, Will Wheaton was on Star Trek, yeah. But yeah, these were like real kid actors doing real kid voices for these little mice children. And I tell you what, I just loved it. I was obsessed. I think then we meet Auntie Shrew.
Yes, Auntie Shrew comes out because she's watching the kids while Mrs. Brisby's out there trying to find meds.
Right.
And
That's
she's
right.
like, I'm tired. Like, you kids wear me out. Like, I totally get it, And it's just funny because it's like, that's your interspecies dynamic is Mrs. Shrew is out helping with the children.
Yeah, because she's also like a rodent. Auntie Shrew is my favorite character in this. I love her. I love the actress who voiced her, whose name is Hermione Badley. And she was kind of known. She was like a theater, film, television actress who like did everything. And she was always sort of like a really brassy or like, know-it-all kind of person, the kind of person who'd always play like the mother-in-law or whatever. And I just love character actors like that who are just like, I always just have a little part and I'm here to steal the show. And then I leave, that's like the ultimate. So yeah, Auntie Shrew's awesome. We get a little song from Mrs. Brisby to Timothy. I keep wanting to say Timothy. I can't stop saying it. I'm sorry. We get a little song she sings to him, the famous Secret of NIMH song. I think it's called like In Dreams or something.
Which the song makes no sense. Let's be real.
How does it make no sense to you?
Because it's like, I don't know, the way it's worded didn't quite like catch me.
The song is called Flying Dreams.
Yeah, we go.
It's not a strong title. I think the melody is very evocative. It's one of those movies that like could have been a musical, but it just they just had one song. They're like, we're going to give you one song. It's in the credits. Mrs. Brisby sings it to her sick kid and like, that's it. But I feel like if they had like the budget to get, that's how like, eventually when Disney had its renaissance, that's the best move they ever pulled was hiring like Alan Menken and like all the people who like wrote The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. Like you have songs that are like legit good. That's what really elevates an animated film. But yeah, so yeah, we get one little song. I've gone this far and I haven't looked at my notes. I'm really just like ripping by I've seen it so many times. Okay, yeah, in the opening, Mr. Ages. There's a certain point. Sorry, this is going back to like when she was talking to Mr. Ages. He's like talking about pneumonia. And Mrs. Brisby's like, oh, please, God, no. And I was like, do mice have a God? Like, what is that? Like, do mice understand the concept of a loving God?
Well, if you're referring to Don Bluth's Mormonism.
Whoa, good point.
Potentially.
Good point. Yeah, Mormon God. Maybe mice God is like Mormon God, who I feel is kind of like scary.
They're popping out kids,
much like mice.
A little cape.
She's wearing, great point. She's got a little red cape, sort of like a handmaiden kind of situation. Yeah, it's funny, like when she has her cape off, like later, how naked she looks.
Yeah,
it's sort of like you get used to seeing them with clothes, and it's like, oh, some clothes is what makes the human, right? But as soon as you have no clothes, you're an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wrote my notes, big letters, fuck Jeremy.
Fuck Jeremy.
Fuck Jeremy. I hate him. I love this movie. so much, but I do dislike him.
You got to edit it so he's out of it.
Let's get the deep Bluth cut of no Jeremy in A Secret of NIMH. Yeah, it's funny. I don't really have like a ton of notes, but
I don't either.
Yeah, no, I was just sort of like, honestly, to be honest with you, I was just kind of like, I was taking notes initially, and then I was just, again, kind of like enjoying the movie and then like talking about it the whole time. Right. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Isn't that when the tractor happens or something? Is that like kind of where we're at in the plot? The tractor starts up and they're able to stop it. And then that like prompts her again to be like, we need to get out of here or something, or. Yeah,
I think the tractor comes after that. So like after Timothy gets his medicine, the farmer tries to like plow the field early and they're like, oh no, it's not moving day yet. We're not ready. And so Mrs. Brisby has to go like chomp on the fuel line to get the tractor to brake. I forget. I think I'm just forgetting like the plot point. Like at that point, Mrs. Brisby goes to see the great owl. And I forget like who tells her to do that. Like, why does she decide to see the great owl? Is it Jeremy? Is it Mr. Ages who's like, you should go see the great owl? But no, he would think that's crazy because he's a mouse.
Did somebody say something about Nicodemus or something? When does she go to him?
Well, she doesn't go to Nicodemus. She doesn't know who Nicodemus is until she goes to the great owl. So I'm just like, there's a certain, in terms of like plot flow, she is emboldened to go see the great owl, who's like the creature who knows everything. Apparently, like he's the head guy in charge, and everyone's a little scared of him because he's the great owl. He's super scary. He lives in a spooky tree. There's spiders. There's a lot of creepy things going on in there. But apparently he's like the oracle, or like he's the one who knows. So she was just like, I guess I got to go see the great owl and get his advice. And the owl is the one who tells her to go see the rats in the rose bush. And like, she's got to like confront her fears and go like basically in a haunted house of a tree and look at bones and stuff. Because that owl has to eat mice.
Talking about they're eating mice, man. So no wonder why she'd be so scared to see him.
Yeah,
that's a snack.
That is, no. Mrs. Brisby coming up to him looking like a snack. She looking good, and she's single.
She is single, hella single.
She's.
You are reminded of that, like, and this is jumping ahead. But
we're almost there. We don't need to jump ahead. We'll get there. Yeah. No, she's single. She's ready to mingle. She's ready to mingle with those rats who she goes to see in the rose bush. And yeah, this is another scene where, I mean, it was also in the owl lair as well. All of these like little sparkly lights and like glistening things kind of buried in the dark. So I think it's really beautiful to look at. I loved like the construction of the rose bush. They have all this technology because they're super intelligent. They've got the rose bush hooked up fully to the grid.
Hardwired.
They've dug for that fiber internet.
Yes.
They've got Christmas lights up. They've got elevators. They've got there's like a whole like palazzo inside. Like there's an interior where there's like a porch and a whole thing. I was like, this is great.
This is nice.
Yeah, exactly. Walking around like, how much you pay for this?
What's the rent?
Yeah, exactly. Like the New Yorker question.
Well, it's kind of funny too, because like you said, it's found objects. So you would get Christmas lights thrown out every once in a while. Like if the string goes bad, but these rats are so intelligent, they repaired it all.
Yeah, they've got it all set up. And yeah, I love all the found objects. I think like the elevator that they take underwater is like one of those like exterior lights you would see on somebody's porch or something. Very cool. Yeah. First, Mrs. Brisby runs into a scary guard rat whose name is Brutus, who's really scary. And he's got like the crazy looking blade. And she's like, uh-oh, I'm not welcome here. But then she runs into Mr. Ages again, who's got a broken leg. And she's like, what's up, Mr. Ages? I didn't know you hung out with these rats. And he's like, why are you here? She's like, well, the owl told me to come here. And like, that's the thing that you say to get anything. It's like the magic word. It's like, oh, the owl told you, you're good then.
Oh, God told me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the great owl god. And so she's like, yeah, the great owl told me to go see Nicodemus. Who's Nicodemus, by the way? And Mr. Aegis is like, well, I guess I'll show you. So they're heading down, and who creeps up behind them? Do you remember who is creeping up behind them?
Your crush.
Yeah, my crush. His name is Justin, and he's a rat. Again, I've gone. I'm not ashamed, okay, because I've gone on another podcast in public and I've talked about how much as a kid, like, I was horny for this rat.
Even Mrs. Brisby is very horny for him too. It's funny, they kind of clock each other, and she's like, oh, like she forgot all about that sick kid for a moment. She's like, damn.
She forgot all about that. She had a moment of relief. She's here thinking about like losing her kids, losing her home. And this rat Justin in his military uniform is making her like, she's thinking
Sweat.
Well, for a moment, she's like, you know what? I could just leave it all.
And you should have, girl.
And girl, you should have just walked away and started a new life over.
I don't think rats and mice can interbreed, but maybe they can. I don't know.
Could they make an animal like a liger? Maybe
that's what that's what I'm wondering.
Could they make a rouse? Is that what a rouse is? A rat mouse?
I was gonna say, otherwise, what is it? A mat? That doesn't work.
A mat or a rouse? Well, also rouse is from Princess Bride, which you've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Rodent of unusual size. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Let's get into it. Let's get into the most important part about this movie. So you weren't into Justin?
Not necessarily. I mean, he had the swag, but I was just hoping for her to have the connection with him, which, spoiler, no spoiler, you don't really get. Although he does like act in like a loving way towards her at the end. But honestly, I'm going to go full villain and say Jenner.
Okay. All right. So you like darkness, not Jack. You like Jenner, not Justin.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. I think we're just going to have to agree to disagree, and that's fine.
I mean, he's not my type of lunk, that I'm looking for. But I mean, he was all right. He was there.
He was all right, and he was there. Okay. I think he was. What I liked about him was his overall looks, his outfit, and also how polite he was when he meets Mrs. Brisby. He bows to her and he's like, my lady. And I'm like, ooh, la la. Okay. I enjoy that. I like men who are polite. I don't like a bad boy. Okay. I don't want to deal with that fucking attitude. I'm the bad boy.
True.
I'm a bad girl. You be a good boy is my thing.
Good point.
So Justin is like the ultimate good boy. He's chivalrous. He is playful to Mr. Aegis. You could tell he kind of like has a good relationship with everybody. And he knows Jonathan, her husband, and he really respects her husband. So that's hot, I think. Mm-hmm. In like a romantic sense. It's like, I know your husband, the fallen warrior, and he was one of our.
I'll honor him by taking down his widow.
But for real though, like that's the ultimate respect is like,
and I'm going to raise his kids.
I mean, someone's got to raise them. It's not, what's the disrespectful thing is you're letting this poor woman deal with 3 kids alone. That's too much.
4 kids.
I'm sorry. 4 kids. Well, in my mind, Timothy's already dead. He's just, we don't see, I don't know if we ever hear Timothy speak in this.
We did, but maybe we don't.
Maybe like at the very, very end,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. In my mind, in my head canon, there was a different future for Justin and Mrs. Brisby.
I would have liked to have seen that sequel.
Right. I'm sure there's fanfic about it. I'm surprised.
Sure there is.
I'm sure there's a lot. There's definitely fan art. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of there's a lot of I'll send you some later if you want.
Oh boy.
There's some not says. I mean, that's what is it? Rule 34. You know what I'm talking about.
I just, you know what? The internet, I do love it. I will say.
I think it's rule 34. Listeners, correct me if that's not the right number, but yeah, it's like if it does exist, there is porn about it.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what. There, a Coco Melon, a veggie Stanley Cup, Veggie Tales. Yeah, just like name things. There's going to be porn about it. And this movie, anything where there's some sexy looking mice walking rats walking around, you bet your ass there's gonna be some pictures. Yeah, anyway, we're moving on with this family pod.
I know. So like what happens now is she goes into this rat lair, right? Meets a lot of different people. That I'm assuming she meets Nicodemus. I could be wrong.
Do you remember?
I don't remember seeing him ever in this movie. Except in the beginning.
No, you thought it was the owl in the beginning.
I see. That's what I'm saying. Like they keep talking about it. It's almost like Justin, or not Justin. It's almost like Jonathan. Sorry, I was like somebody J's.
Jonathan, Justin, Jenner, Jeremy.
Jeremy. Mrs. Brisby's name is like Jennifer or something.
Jennifer. Yeah, the author of Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of NIMH, the original book, Robert C. O'Brien, wrote all those names. The sad thing is he died like a year or two after the book was published, and he never knew this movie was made, which is wild.
Maybe he knows.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe in the afterlife he knows. He's just like, wow, they really fucked up my movie.
Or my book.
They made Nicodemus. Yeah, exactly. They really fucked up my book. They made Nicodemus a wizard for some reason.
Yeah.
No, we meet the Council of Rats first. So it's like, that's where you meet Jenner, who's like this very like Shakespearean kind of villain. And I'll admit he looks good too. He's got his cape. He's got his, what, you're laughing?
I'm laughing. Like, he looks good too.
Whatever.
Heated rivalry, but it's Justin and Jenner.
This is, listeners, this is, I'm not ashamed of who I am. And I'm going to say again, the content I consume, anything but a human man.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything but a human man. It's got to be a hot animal or something else.
Or a robot in my instance.
Yeah. Melanie's all about that robot. I saw a video of like the robots that they have in China now who can like run and fight you with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, just wait till one of those robots like fucks you and kills you.
Not a bad way to go.
I guess not. Yeah, robot, rat. We all have our things. Okay, I'm not judging your choice.
I can always recommend a book for everyone if they're ever curious.
That's right. That's like, we that's our other project. Tell me your kink and I'll give you a book. Whatever you're into. What was I going to say? Rats, robots, loving things. Yeah. So no, Jenner's looking good. Everyone's looking pretty fine in the Council of Rats. And then we go see Nicodemus. Justin goes and brings Mrs. Brisby to see Nicodemus, who's like the leader of the rats. And again, he was made a wizard. He was just like the leader of the rats in the book, but he's got this like mystical Gandalf quality about him. He writes in his magic book. I think like that's when she learns like the history of the rats, and he talks about like why they're so intelligent.
Yeah, which is so fucked up.
It's one of them. Yeah, we talk about trauma childhood favorites. This is like the scene that upset me so deeply.
The animals like waiting to be tested on. I was almost in tears.
I can't think about it even to this day. Like I know it happens all the time. And I think about animal testing. I think about animals in peril. And this is why I was like a vegan vegetarian for like most of my life. I could not live a second on this earth and like feel like I was at all responsible for another thing suffering. And then I was just like, all right, I'll eat a steak.
I need my iron.
I am still sad about those little bunnies in the testing facility though.
Well, you don't have to eat them, I know. Don't eat the bunny.
I just don't like anything in cages. I don't like Melanie, I don't like when people kennel their dogs.
I know it is sad. I know sometimes it is for their protection if they can't be trusted. because some animals really only have 2 brain cells, as I'm sure you're aware.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's like, if it was a little dog and it got into something or it jumped off the couch, I totally get that. But I agree. I feel like caging animals is really upsetting.
Yeah, I could go on a whole thing about things that should not be done to animals. I don't even like when people leave their cats for days at a time. I think it's cruel. I hate the sad dogs in the cage at the
beagles.
The beagles in the cage. It's so much. Yeah. And the worst is when they inject the rat. It's just the way it's animated is so like visceral.
I love the DNA sequence though.
Honestly, I mean, if you saw this on drugs, that part would have got you your whole life. Cause it's like, it's like those rats took DMT.
They did.
And they saw the patterns and they went into the cave of their mind and they saw the mechanisms working. And then they realized
they went in the desert.
They realized that like everything means something, but also nothing.
There were 3 mirrors. Choose your path.
I don't know. They understood the secret of the universe at that point. I was like, honestly, maybe that juice is good. Maybe I want that juice. Give me that juice.
I need that juice, actually.
Yeah. Like, honestly, shoot me up. It's fine. Let's do it. So, yeah.
I wonder if it's like antidepressants because they're being tested on at the National Institute of Mental Health. So they're like testing antidepressants or like psychotic drugs or like things like that.
I think it's implied that it's LSD.
Damn.
Because there's like that psychedelic patterning. I forget in the book exactly what it was, but I do know that the book was bringing up animal testing that was also happening to people. Mm-hmm. This is a fun like sidebar. I think it was based on like the Montauk Project, which I don't know if you know anything about.
I do, from having watched a lot of insider info videos about Stranger Things.
Exactly. So that was the whole inspiration behind Stranger Things. And honestly, if they would have just like focused on that, it would have been a much better show instead of like expanding to nothingness.
Yeah, these subplots of nothing.
But the interesting plot is like, what if the government was, and they are, right, doing experiments with people against their will, like what happens because of that. And so, yeah, I think the LSD or whatever psychedelic drug they gave these rats, it expanded their minds so much that Nicodemus in flashback to Mrs. Brisby was like, so I looked at words on the cage and then I could read it. And I was like, it seems scary, but that's the serum. Like, could you give me a juice that makes me understand languages?
That's my fucking dream.
Yeah.
That's my dream.
Absolutely. I don't want to learn all this. Just like, let me look. Like if I looked at Arabic and I could just understand it all of a sudden, how wild would that be?
Incredible.
So yeah, we get all that in flashback. We realize that Jonathan and Mr. Ages were also lab rats. Mm-hmm. And because they were smaller, Jonathan was able to creep and crawl out of these ventilation ducts that they all escaped out of. There's also that sequence where like the other mice get blown away. And I'm just like, come on.
Into smithereens.
Fucking Don Bluth, stop with the animal death. It's too much. But we get all this backstory, and then Mrs. Brisby, who didn't know, like her husband had a secret life, like he was like James Bond or something, realizes her husband was a hero. And that's like when she like name drops her husband. That's why like Justin is like so horny for him, because like Jonathan was the one who saved all of them. Yeah. And I think that's cool. I think that's like a very, like in terms of like the beat of like a novel and a story, I'm like, that's a very cool tie-in. And it kind of gives you like character connection, because otherwise they'd be like, okay, who's this random mouse widow? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
But now the rats are like, okay, we're going to help you move. Also, Nicodemus is like, we don't feel comfortable about like basically stealing electricity from the humans, because they also have like a moral center, because they're like very super intelligent. They're just like
they're enlightened as fuck.
They're enlightened as fuck. And I'm just like, and part of me is like, well, you're not really stealing, but whatever, it's fine. Like, yeah, they're not like pulling that much energy, I think. But Jenner's like, I want to stay. I think we're good here. And the other rats are like, we should really go like do our own thing. We're going to go to Thorn Valley, which like doesn't sound nice, but That's the big plan. So everything kind of like happens pretty quickly. They're going to go to the Thorn Valley, but first they're going to help Mrs. Brisby move her house because they have all the machinery and stuff. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, yeah, we're like getting towards the end. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. Oh, yes, that's right. Like the very important part at the end, like, do you remember what I'm talking about? What does Mrs. Brisby have to do to help everybody out?
Oh, when she like has to go. So they decide that she has to go drug the cat.
Yes.
Dragon. And so, which I love the name Dragon for a cat. I think it's so nice.
It's so nice. He's such a dragon. Like, I love how Dragon is drawn.
Yeah.
I love his character. He, like, you've seen that cat. You know what that cat is, his eyes and his build. He's so chunky.
He's so thick.
He's a thick boy.
He's gnawing down on mice and rats at the farm. So
right,
they got to watch out for Dragon.
They got to watch out for Dragon, and in order to pull off the moving thing, they have to drug Dragon because they don't know if Dragon's going to be out there patrolling. All the rats are like, I think Justin is like, I'll do it, but Mrs. Brisby's like, no, I'm going to do it because she knows that that's how her husband ultimately died, was trying to drug Dragon before. So she gets sort of like a little chance to like redeem her husband and also like to prove to herself that she's brave, which I think is cool. And
so she disrobes.
She just
she gets naked in front of Justin.
That's true. Yeah. Now, if this was a different kind of movie, that scene would have gone a little different.
Yeah, they would have for sure boned before she went out there.
They're like, no, wait, before you go, I have to tell you something.
Have I ever told you?
Okay, I'm writing a fanfic and I'm putting it on the internet, and I'll never show it to you, but
listen, I think I might like it more than the movie.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll just dash something off. I'll put it on Archive of Our Own, and I'll see if anyone can find it, because I post there. I post there a lot under a pseudonym.
Oh shit!
You'll never know.
Yeah. So she goes out there naked to go drug Dragon, and her plan gets messed up because the kid catches her. The kid, like the farmer's son, catches her and is like, "Oh, look, a rat, like, or a mouse. Can we keep it? I'll put it in the cage that my other mouse was in." Like, great. So now she gets taken away to go live in this cage that is so high up.
So high up.
I'm assuming to keep it away from Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart because, yeah, just like it's like a canary in a cage, right? Like,
right, yeah, it's almost like a bird cage,
Yeah, she's got to bust out, and there's like that whole like harrowing sequence where she's like trying to get out, and like I think you really feel for her. Like, she's trying to like squeeze through the bars, she's trying to bust her way out through the water bin or whatever it is. Yeah, it's really stressful to watch her try to get out, and then she's got to like belay herself down with a piece of yarn that's in there for some reason. I'm like, why would you leave that in a mouse's cage? But whatever. But yeah, she's got to bust out, because that's another thing too. I realized like they've been pushing the narrative that there's like this urgency because moving day is coming soon. Like, it's going to happen as soon as the farmer repairs the tractor. So the rats are moving, like they're jumping on this plan right now. She's in the cage. She's got to go like run to the house and oversee everything. I'm like, did you even tell your kids this is happening? Because they seem really upset.
Yeah, they did not know.
Yeah, I was like, where's the communication in this family? I'm like, could you have I understand Timothy can't be moved, but could you just like bolt his bed down and get the other kids out? Because like, why are you risking your whole family?
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of, upon this last rewatch, I was like, there's a lot of holes for me.
A lot of holes. I think that's why I'm struggling to be like, oh yeah, like you can kind of remember like big events, but all the in-betweens are kind of hard to grasp.
I can tell from the get you're not a fan of this movie at all, even though I'm very passionate about it. Were there any like, leading up to this very important moving scene, like were there any bright spots for you, or did you feel like it was just sort of a slog?
It was definitely slogging along. I like I said, I enjoyed a lot of like the little tidbits about it. I wanted there to be a romance between Mrs. Brisby and Justin, like a more like hard down romance. Like that's just me. It was kind of interesting how Nicodemus is like in communication with the dead husband, sort of like he's out here like talking about him and like to him, like, oh, she'll know this when this happens. Like it's very like, I don't know. It is kind of psychedelic, if you will.
It is a little bit, and he's like I said in the book, he's just like a guy, or he's just like the leader. But in the movie, yeah, they make him very mystical, magical, and there's all this like, that's right. Like when Nicodemus and Mrs. Brisby earlier before she goes to drug dragon. He gives her the amulet, which is just like, here's this magical amulet that you'll need. It's like in a video game, like, take this later. You'll need this for
some. You're like, okay.
Okay. I'm like, it's cool. Yeah. And of course, we have to have another fucking stupid moment with stupid Jeremy talking about how he wants the stupid sparkly. I was like, enough. Dragon needs to come kill this crow because I've had enough of him.
He's not working hard enough, Dragon.
But I think it's important to note that, yeah, at this point, Mrs. Brisby, even after she escapes from the cage, she had that another moment of peril. She grabs her cape and she grabs her amulet and she runs to the house. She needs that amulet because shit is getting fucked up with the whole moving situation. Yeah, I know you probably were tuned out a little bit, but can you describe like what is the drama and conflama with the moving scene? Do you remember?
Well, everyone's getting kind of like shaken up. Everyone's like falling about they live in a cinder block, right? Like
they live in a cinder block, but like what's happening? Like what's the subplot with Jenner? Like what's his whole fucking deal? Your favorite guy, Jenner.
Well, I mean, he doesn't want anyone to move. He kind of is like conspiring to have more control.
Yes, he wants to be the leader. Definitely.
Yeah. And then is this at the point where I'm assuming they're like fighting and he's like, okay, he's trying to like command the whole room and he brings out a sword to go start chopping.
But before that, like what happens? But
I tuned out.
This is so funny. This is like the first one where I have to narrate most of it because Melanie has literally nothing to say about it.
I have, yeah.
She doesn't remember Nicodemus. She thought that in the beginning that was the owl, that wasn't Nicodemus. She doesn't know anything about Nicodemus, and she certainly doesn't remember the very important part at the end scene when Jenner kills Nicodemus by having the house drop on him. Were you just not watching at that time?
At that point, I must have skipped.
Holy shit. You can't skip any of these movies.
I didn't skip, but I was like mentally, I skipped.
Were you like looking at your phone the whole time?
No.
Yeah, don't lie. Okay. All right. This is the new VHS Sisters rule. There will be no phone. You got to lock in cuz something very important happens at the end. Nicodemus fucking dies because Jenner cuts the rope, or like him and his crony cut the rope. The cinder block drops on Nicodemus. He's dead. This is all stuff again that is fabricated by Don Bluth. I don't think this happened in the book. If it did, listeners, correct me, but I don't remember this at all. And yeah, Jenner's trying to like pick up the pieces and be like, we've suffered a loss, but we should just walk away. Rats should stay with rats and mice should stay with mice. And that's it. But then the race war. Yeah, exactly. Justin comes in to save the day and they have this, you remember the sword fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Did you like that? Did you like the sword?
Yeah, sure. It was like a little crinkly sword. And then Justin had a stick.
I think they both had swords.
I thought he started out with a stick.
He had a stick and then he had a sword. Somebody threw him a sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a very like Game of Thrones sort of Shakespearean sword fight. I think it was excellent. It seems like you're pretty middling on it, but yeah. We just like different things. This is what I'm realizing. We're just different people and we like different things, and that's fine. I'm like,
certain things grab us, and they might not be the same.
Well, I was like, I mean, of course you're going to enjoy the hot rats and the sword fights and the
Hot rats.
the hot rats, the sword fighting, the mystical elements, the magic jewelry, the slow burn romance hints. There's a lot of stuff going on. The animals,
Yeah.
but yeah, apparently not. But yeah, so so I don't know. Do you remember what happens after that? I'm gonna leave it to you.
Well, so they're fighting.
Yes.
And it's at the point where Jenner takes a hit, but he's still very much alive. And I think either one of his cronies or like just a fellow rat tosses a dagger at him and gets him for the kill and was like, no, we're done with this guy. And he falls to his death.
Yeah, it's his crony. I forget his name, but he's like the fat rat and he's about to die. But Jenner, like, that this is why you got to make sure you kill them. Because Justin thought he defeated Jenner, and then Jenner comes up behind him, and there's like a very tense moment, and then he gets the knife in the back. The end. Jenner's dead. But our problems are like Nicodemus is dead, Jenner's dead. It's very violent at the end. And what's worse is now the Cinderblock home is sinking in mud. So you get all of this panic, and now you see these little children, these mice children, terrified, screaming for their mother. Again, more trauma. So much trauma from these little kids, and their house is filling with mud, and no one can save them. Like they try to pull them out of the muck, but the machines aren't strong enough. Do you remember how Mrs. Brisby manages to save the day?
Well, she uses this amulet.
But like how though?
No.
Wow. How do you think she does it?
I feel like she uses the amulet to like it gives her great courage, right? So she goes out and either it blinds something. I don't know. All I know is like the screen's red, things are happening, and then it's like cutscene. Now we're fine, sort of.
Were you also on DMT or smoking weed watching this?
No. I will admit I was rewatching it whilst working.
Out of control. Is that the first time you've ever done this for this pod?
Technically, no. I watched When Harry Met Sally at work, but that was like different.
That because you were paying attention.
Well, and this is a new job. So I'm like, like this. Whereas that one, I just had my feet up and like waited for people to come and just hit pause.
Yeah, no, we gotta now, listeners, now you're hearing behind the scenes. There'll be no more multitasking with these movies.
I mean, I will say this one was not my favorite. So it was kind of easy for me to tune out anyways.
I just don't understand. So you were moved by the end when like the power of love courses the energy, and the power of love courses through Mrs. Brisby's whole body, and she holds the amulet, and the amulet takes the power in her heart and channels the energy into the block to lift the home up out of the mud to save her children. Unreal.
I don't know.
Unreal.
I think it's because, like I said, the movie to me could have went in a different direction. And I don't know if that's because of the whole like wizarding Nicodemus character, but also like, I don't know, there was just like a lot going on, especially even with like Jeremy always coming around too. So it's like, if it was written or at least depicted a little differently, I feel like it could have been like an all-star movie, but there were parts of it that were kind of lacking for me and just very, like you said, episodic, very quick, like, oh, now we're in the house. Now we're here. This is happening. Here's my friend. Now he's hot. Guess what? Like,
but wasn't Legend like that too?
Yeah, but I think maybe because the fact that it was live action, I don't know.
Do you hate animation? I have to find this out now.
I don't. I like animation.
Is this the first animated movie we've watched on the pod?
God, no. Are you kidding? We watched Black Cauldron.
Okay, right. Black Cauldron.
And I thought there was another one, but I could be wrong.
I think that's it. Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, I think it's just Black Cauldron. Like, we've definitely watched a lot of puppetry. We may have watched things that had animation in it, like The Worst Witch had a very famous animated sequence. It was done in green screen, but maybe
not enough good comedy in this.
Yeah, I guess I'm just like, this is an important emotional part of the movie, and you were just like, you know what? Fuck this mouse.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't connect with me as much. Like, there are other animated movies that I hold like dear to my heart. Even Land Before Time being a Don Bluth production, one of those, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. This one just kind of missed it for me, but I think that's because it was so deep. And when I first watched it too, I was like, kind of out of it anyways. So I'm just generally disinterested in The Secret of NIMH. So this is not a Melanie's Month pick, but we will take it.
Well, I guess, it's a memory in the sense that you have seen it kind of, and then this most recent time you did kind of watch it, but not really, not enough to, I was going to say, have intelligent film commentary about it, but you couldn't even remember the events of the movie.
Like towards the end.
You couldn't even remember who Nicodemus was, who the owl was, if he fucking died, who was named who. We're not thinking about it. So yeah, maybe it's one of those movies that hits you like, I don't know. I'm sure there are movies like, it's like there are so many movies that kids or people say that they grew up with kids. They're like, oh, you love this movie. Like everybody is like that with Hocus Pocus. And I'm just like, I don't give a shit about this movie. Like I didn't grow up watching.
I liked it.
Yeah, because you're younger than me. And like when it was around, you would have been like 5. I don't know.
Yeah, I watched it early, and then upon rewatch, it's not that great, but it's just like, it's fine. The feeling of it is very 90s. So I think people cling on to that, like the nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, or it's like Nightmare Before Christmas, which people like get tattoos of, and they have it's like a practical magic movie where people like, my whole wedding is like Nightmare Before Christmas themed. And I'm like, that's the worst fucking movie I've ever seen. I mean, I can appreciate that movie for the puppetry, the claymation of it all, but it's not a good movie, I don't think.
No.
And I think the songs are really annoying and the characters are very selfish. And like Jack Skellington is not like a cool guy.
He's kind of a dick.
He's kind of a dick, right? And I'm like, why does Sally love him? Because he's like the only other tall guy in town. That's a whole other thing. It's a whole other thing. Yeah, I guess, Melanie doesn't have any memory of this. That's the theme of today's pod. I guess I should ask for your rating now.
I would say my rating is a C-.
Wow. Did you rank this lower than Neverending Story?
That is lower. Neverending Story is lower. I think it was a D.
I can't. You know what? I've had a really long, hard week. I've worked. You're talking about your job. I've worked all week, very hard. Managed to watch this movie. And we're talking about it now, and you give it a C- after all that. It's hurtful to me.
I'm sorry. I'll give it a C. There's nothing really like, I just don't connect with it because I feel like it's something I did not cherish as a child. And I know you have obviously memories of it for the last 40 years of your life.
Sure.
So it's something that hits home. And I'm sure there are plenty of movies that I like that you'd be like, I will never watch that. And I never will.
Like name one.
If I were, maybe like a comedy, maybe like how about even a Christmas movie, a Jim Carrey movie? Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Oh yeah, I won't watch Grinch That Stole Christmas.
Love that.
Yeah, I don't care for that. Yeah,
the only Ace Ventura I liked is the second one and was obsessed with it.
When he goes to the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first one because he meets Cannibal Corpse. That's cool.
Yeah.
When he goes to the bar. Yeah, no, I'm not that. I think I'm too elder millennial, or I'm like the youngest Gen X person left on the planet because I don't connect with the face humor of Jim Carrey. I find him cringy. And yeah, maybe I'm sorry.
Cringy.
Yeah, I find him cringy. It's just like, yeah, it's too much. Like, it's like I don't like Jeremy the Crow. I don't like Gurgi. I don't like Jim Carrey. Even like his serious stuff, I'm just like, come on, my guy. I don't know. I will say he is good in Man on the Moon. Have you seen that?
I think I might have, but it's a distant memory.
Where he plays Andy Kaufman, the comedian. He's really good. Yeah, he does like a very good.
I know the impression. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, Eternal Sunshine. Yeah, when I was 24, did I like that movie? Sure. It's not, it doesn't hit with me anymore. Yeah, this is like, it's like an agree to disagree kind of situation. I have to give this movie an A. A solid A. It's not an A+ because Jeremy's in it.
Oh.
If Dom DeLuise is in something, again, it's
downgraded.
Dom DeLuise was like the Jim Carrey of his generation. I just don't like these clownish men. Like, or if you're a clown, I don't know. Like, what kind of like a comedian do I want to see? Like, comedians, you're on thin ice all the time. You have to come correct with like a certain kind of, I like intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I like wordplay. It's like, yeah, you can't be a total buffoon. I don't love a buffoon.
Yeah. I don't either. And I don't think that Jim Carrey is necessarily a buffoon.
No, Jim Carrey is more, yeah, I guess I wouldn't put him in that category. He's definitely a jester-like character.
Sure. Yeah.
Is Jim Carrey a Capricorn?
That's a great question. You'll have to consult the internet.
Hey, Siri, what zodiac sign is Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey is a Capricorn.
Bitch.
This is from celibances.com.
See, I know. You love, this is my theory. You love Capricorns. You're obsessed.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
I don't know any Capricorns.
You love Peter Steele.
I do love him.
You loved, and there's somebody else. There's some other actors. Hey, Siri, give me a list of actors who are Capricorns.
One of the famous actors who are Capricorns include Rowan.
Okay, I got it.
Is it Anthony Hopkins?
Yes, that's the one. Anthony Hopkins, you're obsessed with Capricorn.
Shut up.
Nick, what? I'm just saying. I'm not making fun of you. I'm the one who said I wanted to fuck a rat.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just like agreeing. Like, wow, that's crazy. Because
Nicolas Cage.
Sure. Anytime in Moonstruck.
Denzel Washington.
Okay. He's got swag.
Yeah, this is fun now. Smash or pass? Kevin Costner.
Pass.
Mel Gibson.
Pass.
Yeah, he's a racist. Anthony Hopkins, known for his role as Hannibal.
Smash. Smash that. Like.
Ralph Fiennes.
Smash.
James Earl Jones.
Smash.
Cary Grant.
Smash.
Humphrey Bogart.
Pass.
Wow. Yeah, he'd smoked too much. Ben Kingsley.
Pass. I don't even know who that is.
He played Gandhi. He's a big, you would like him.
Pass.
He's a little bit, okay. Jim Carrey. Of course. Okay. Bradley Cooper.
Pass.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now we're getting to it. Really?
Mm-hmm.
No Bradley Cooper.
Not for me.
Those blue eyes don't do it for you.
There's plenty of blue eyes in the sea.
Rowan Atkinson, also known as Mr. Bean.
I'm sorry. Smash.
Like, yeah, girl, you better.
I was kombucha girling it, you know. I was
I would totally fuck Mr. Bean. Liam Hemsworth.
Smash.
Timothée Chalamet.
Pass.
Wow. Yeah, me too. Pass.
I don't want that gonorrhea. I'm sure he's gotten rid of it.
He's gotten a lot of stuff from what's her face, I'm sure.
Well, there was like a rumor when he was at NYU that he was popping off.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's popping it off. Yeah, you got to wrap that dick, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
You got to wrap it. I'm just like going through this list. There are a lot of Capricorn hotties, including Orlando Bloom.
Smash, baby.
Smash. I'll show you. I mean, there's like literally 50 more hot actors, but I'm gonna close with this one.
Smash, baby. Kit Harington.
I'm showing her Kit Harington from Game of Thrones, who like Jon Snow is her ultimate. So
you know whose ultimate that is mom.
Really? She likes Jon Snow?
She fucking loves him.
Oh my God. I'm a Jaime Lannister girl.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because I just said I don't love a bad boy. But see, he turns good. He turns good. And then we're not thinking about the last season because that didn't even happen.
I'm more of a Oberyn Martell.
Wow. Okay. All right. I wasn't expecting you as somebody that bisexual.
It's my new thing.
Okay. That's fine.
I'm subscribing to the bisexuals.
I love that for you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you got yourself a nice bi boyfriend, take you book shopping and take you to get a matcha.
I was going to say some beef tartare, some steak tartare.
Wait, where did that come from?
I don't know.
That's no, if he's bisexual, he's like a vegan vegetarian, of course.
No, he's craving all kinds of meat. You know what I'm saying?
And with that, folks, we're going to close this very upsetting pod, perhaps the most upsetting at all. Melanie didn't even watch the movie, even though she knew we were going to speak in public about it. It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm really glad y'all still tune in. Yes. And I hope you enjoy our fun little conversations because I know I mostly do. So, anything else you want to say before we sign off for today?
Well, I guess my connection with the movie is, did you feel any parallels with having a small child sibling who had pneumonia?
Did you?
I had pneumonia when I was born.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Melanie was a sickly
fat baby.
She was fat. She was so fat, but she had a lung infection when she was born. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I related to that because like even though you were sick in the hospital as a baby, I remember not being super concerned because you did look healthy. Do you know what I'm saying? And like also, so I was 11 years old when you were born and I had to go see you in the NICU. And I have a vivid memory of you being like a big, red, round kind of baby. And in the NICU, you were surrounded by babies that looked very small and very sad. And I was like, you know what? She's going to make it.
She's going to be fine.
Yeah. No, I did have that. I was like, you know what? She's going to grow up one day and we're going to have a podcast and she's going to disappoint me by hating movies that I love. So that's all.
Okay, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
See you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of VHS Sisters.
We hope you've had a fun and cozy time.
Please consider liking, leaving a review, and following us on your podcast platform of choice.
If you'd like to chat with us, please email us at VHSsisterspodcast@gmail.com.
Love you. Bye. That's it.